Welcome back. Today's discussion is a three-phase inverter. In the last lecture, we have discussed the single-phase inverter. However, the single-phase inverter is there is two type of the inverter type. One phase, that means the switch. One phase or single phase, two phase one. Load, that is the load. Effectively used for the battery value. We will choose this type of the inverter because directly we can use this value for the output voltage. Effectively use the battery side. However, using the four power semiconductor devices, four devices, one phase AC current. In case of the three phase require the three times of this. That means the 12. 12 require or not? Three phase required that three phase inverter. That means the output load current is a three phase AC current is obtained. One phase current is required 4. So for the three phase, 12 or not? The answer is only the 6. This means effectively using the power DC bus value and effectively use the number of power semiconductor in case of the three-phase inverter. Effectively use power semiconductor and DC bus value. So many application for the electric vehicle motor drive. So many type of the application. This type of three-phase inverter is applied. So let's discuss this type of output voltage or output current. However, of course, you can understand the VA and VB and VC in the last lecture. Please check the last lecture movie and please illustrate to the VA and VB and VC using this switching timing. This switching timing is very important because in the next lecture we will discuss why we will use this voltage vector V1 to V6. That means rotating. Later I will discuss. Let's concentrate to this discussion. Okay. Please describe VA plus 0 plus. It's easy for you. Already you can understand the single phase inverter lecture. So the 参考ずつこんな感じかな。VC こんな感じ。And please describe. VCA is limited in the space, so the only the we discuss the VAB and VBC. VAB, VA, VA minus VB. So VA minus VB. 何ぼだ？これが100マイナス100、100マイナス100、100マイナス100。ということは VAB はこれからこれを引く。うりゃ。これからこれを引く。0。これからこれを引く。こんな感じかな。うれ。こんな感じ。Important point is this value is effectively use the value of the DC battery pack. これはね、こっち側は何ぼか言うと、これ引くこれか。そうすると0。VBC だから B マイナスこれだからここがプラスほんまかマイかここがプラスこれマイナスこれだからプラスこれマイナスこれだからプラスよし200 minus 200 effectively we can use in case of the three-phase inverter. And how about the current? Current means ここから入るここからいくかここからこう来てこう来て already pre-checked the last single phase simple inverter. Why this type of current pre-checked I will skip to the same discussion. So pre-check. Using the transit phenomenon, we can use we can obtain the AC current using AC current in case of the load. That is the motor. Motor means the windings, and in the there's a resistance in the real experiment setup. So that means the resistance and the windings, and this means that motor. In the motor, we can obtain the three-phase. Of course, VCA. In case of VCA, we can obtain the three-phase. こんな感じ。そっちか。まあいいか。まあいいか。Three-phase AC current in the only using the only 6 power semiconductor devices. However, we can use the max value of the DC battery values. And we also only use this one, we can obtain the 200 peak-to-peak DC output voltage and 3-phase AC current. So we adapt, we will apply to the many applications for this 3-phase inverter, this type of 3-phase inverter. Why we require that phase shift angle is 120 degree. That means this difference of the degree is very important for the motor driving discussion. For the motor driving, in the next lecture, we will discuss the induction motor, how to drive the induction motor. The basic is only the essence. However, that essence is very important. So we will adapt and we will discuss that applications. For the induction motor driving, the 120 phase shift is very important. So, and why we require, why the motor driving, for motor driving, we require the 3-phase current. That is the 3-phase current, and we can obtain this one. And in case of the automotive area, this 3-phase current, compared with this one. In the town use, the speed is lower, that one here. And in the highway, we must obtain the AC current, high frequency AC current, 3-phase, complicated, but the high frequency and in case of the high frequency 3-phase current, the motor driving speed is higher and higher. For the high speed in automotive area, the switching term in each voltage vector is reduced. So we can obtain the high frequency. That means the high frequency switching is required. High frequency switching, that means the switching losses increase and the inverters heat, inverter will heat and the loss and efficiency is lower. And in the real switch 3-phase inverter, the switching we can understand through the DC-DC converter discussion. In case of the power electronics, the switching timing is controlled using that means the pulse width modulation, PWM. Pulse width modulation. So in the real one, the switching timing is higher timing, thin timing, and width is increase, decrease. This is that image, but the real timing is this line. So we can obtain the more real switching sine wave near nearly the sine wave, because conventional one is this voltage is current. Uh, the that waveform have the high frequency essence. So the high frequency waveform is flow through the that rotation line, this stick. This rotation stick and rotor and stator. Between the rotor and stator, the rotor and the stator, there is the two conduction. That means that this is the capacitor. We can look in the equivalent current equivalent circuit is the capacitor. That capacitor's impedance is here. And in case of the high frequency, in case of the high frequency, this increase, this value is decrease. So the high frequency flow through this line. The rotation's lifetime is decrease because this high frequency current is attached to this rotation stick. So we must obtain the output current is lower lower high frequency noise. Nearly sine wave is best. So in the real inverter, there is the switching is the more higher to obtain the nearly sine wave, low high frequency component waveforms. This is application side discussion. However, real one is here. But today's is the basic essence. Basic essence, that means the important point is only using the 6 pulsing reactor, and we can use the peak-to-peak value in the output voltage for the battery peak-to-peak value. That is a very, very important essence. In the next lecture, we will discuss why we require the 3-phase 120 phase shifted AC current. Why we require? It's important for the induction motor driving. Okay, let's move to the next lecture. お疲れ様でした。